What is going on, guys? My name is Lextasy and welcome back to the channel. Today we're here at my buddy shop at MTech Solutions. These guys specialize on Fords. They specialize in 5.0s. This place is massive. I mean, this huge warehouse, they do all kinds of installs, but today we're here to accomplish two very important things. One is to install the oil pump gears and crank sprockets, because as everybody knows, that is the weakest link of this 5.0 V8 Ford motor. And then the second video, or the second part, will be installing, well, the Whipple Supercharger. This bad boy finally came in. It is here. Tons of boxes, things to unbox, and of course we will do that in this video before we get started. I'm not gonna lie, this is a big deal for me because I have honestly never really taken a motor apart this much. The whole front end of this truck will be coming apart, so it is going to be a little bit intense, and hopefully I don't have spare bolts and nuts left over after this is done. But that is why we're here at MTech, to get this going, and of course they will be guiding us and making sure we don't screw this up. But boys, it's time. I have to learn this stuff. I got to do it myself. I got to know how to tear a motor apart, so why not learn as we go? So without further ado, guys, let's get this video going. All right, so while we wait for my buddy Igor to come over here and introduce himself, he is the wizard when it comes to Whipple installs. They're actually a Whipple dealer, guys, so if you are looking for the hookup, because he literally got mine here within a few weeks instead of waiting for months, so I will post a link to his website and his channel as well. He can take care of you, I promise you. But he's got everything, man. He's the wizard. He knows everything about these Fords. He's even got a 7.3 sitting here, which is like a push rod Ford motor, believe it or not. It's pretty much an LS motor, so maybe in the future we can slap one of those on the truck like that. That would be fun to see. But let's get this box opening going, because I do want to see what's inside these boxes here. Safety first, of course, so we are being extremely careful. I ain't trying to cut up my brand new parts in any way, but I am excited. This is a Gen 5 3.0 Whipple, so this is the brand new Whipple that they just came out with. It has a lot of upgrades, like the air is circulated, I think, like twice through the intercooler that's built in on the head unit. So it's actually the top of the line, and I cannot wait. So, oh, there's the intake, boys. Look at that. Wow, that sucker's massive. That's gonna be fun. So we got an intake here. Let's see what's in the box number 2. And this one, I think, is gonna have the cooler, right? I think see if I can open it real quick for you boys. Yep, I think that's the one. So there's all the wiring and coolant hoses and things like that. And then I think this is, yeah, that's the big cooler in the box right there, guys. Let's go. Main attraction, of course. This will be the installation we do in the next video. Inspect contents immediately, so we should not be touching any of this. They really did package this thing in here, man. All right, I do have my buddy Igor finally here to help, because this thing is not playing games, so we're just gonna, yeah, they definitely wrap the sucker in there to make sure it doesn't come out. But
I mean, it came 3,000 miles.
That is true. Boom. Let's go. As you can tell, it's pretty much 2 pieces of foam stuck together. Yeah, they knew it was going to be content, so they probably super glued this sucker in here. Dude, golly, man, they're not playing the game.
Yeah. They gotta do what they gotta do.
Oh, boys, there it is.
Oh, dude.
I know, right? We waited so long, spent so much money on this one. Yeah, if my wife asked, it was like $100, so that's Whipples are cheap these days. Oh man, just what? Next video, this sucker's gonna be on here, and we'll be what, 750 horsepower, something like that at crank. Unboxing all this, so that's all done. And then slowly we are about to start tearing this motor apart. I am dreading it, guys, I'm not gonna lie, but I do have Igor here. He's the expert at this. We're not gonna have any issues. It's not gonna blow up. He's giving me like 3-year warranty on this. So, and he says for the most part, so he does all these Whipples installs pretty much everywhere, right? They travel, so Whipple sends them out to all kinds of places in the US to be able to do these installs or fix stuff that went wrong. And he said this is all the only tools that you really need, right? Like this is all you take with you on the trips, which is kind of insane, because I pretty much need all this. So with me not knowing what parts and what tools goes where, this is going to be an experience, because all of this, guys, is coming off. Intake's coming off. Coolant, of course, needs to be completely flushed out. Oil pump, water pump, everything is coming off. So there's about to be a lot that's going to happen. But Igor, can you at least tell us why we're doing this in the first place? Like why we're replacing the oil pump gears and the crank sprockets and all that fun stuff? I mean,
well, once we remove the old oil pump gear, we're gonna drop it from about this height, and then it's gonna shatter.
Wow, is that weak?
Yeah, it's weak.
Seriously?
Most people don't upgrade on the F150 because they don't rev as high as a Mustang.
Right.
But since you're trying to push crazy power, that's your insurance in that box.
Yeah. So you mean it's not designed for that? Like it's not supposed to do 1,000 horsepower? I did watch a video, and they said that the actual like oil pump gear itself on the Ford, even on this, like the oil pump and everything, is still thinner than it is on the Mustangs. So you said you have some instructions, right? Because we're not just gonna swing it and see what happens. So
printed these off of Ford. colored. So
color ones too. Look at you, man. So that's only 4 pages.
this is the main one here.
17, golly. Yeah. Okay, so
so it's not bad. I mean, it's just a lot of parts are coming off, and then everything goes right back.
Well, the good thing for us, right, is that, I mean, the intake comes off, but we're putting the Whipple on there, so we're saving ourselves a lot of time already doing it this way.
You don't have to pull the intake off to do the oil pump gears. We're just pulling the valve covers off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Front cover, yeah. Most people don't mess with that. But we might just remove the intake and cover with the plate, just so we have more room. So
makes sense.
We're gonna remove it anyways.
That's right.
So that's what I did on the Shelby. I have a video on that.
Oh yeah, that's right, guys. So he did have a Whipple Shelby that I actually did a video on. Now it's just a Shelby. He said that he's also getting himself a truck because, you know, he's seen this and was like, bro, this is the ultimate machine. No, I'm just joking. What are you getting though? What are you gonna be doing?
Maybe a Raptor, maybe a Mustang GT. Yeah.
You're gonna do a Eco Beast? But it's okay. So does that only work on like the 5.2 flat plane crank?
2011 and up F150.
What?
This is the same unit that you have here.
This
is unit, yeah. But the other parts are a little bit different here and there. So if I get a truck like yours, I can use the head unit and just buy like the box of these parts and make it work. So I have options.
So the 5.2 it's interchangeable when it comes to the Whipple?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why some people buy a Mustang GT.
Yeah.
And buy a GT350 intake, and it has like 15-20 horsepower.
Dude. Dude, I don't know anything about Fords, man. You know this. Guys, we've stalled enough. I've stalled enough. Let's go ahead and start taking parts apart. This is not going to be an instructional video, guys, so there will be parts I'm going to cut in and cut out. So first step is what? We're just going to be taking the intake off, or what are you thinking?
Open everything up and
that's right. Okay.
And, see what we got, and then we're going to hook up the scan tool to it and pull the stock tune and request a tune from Whipple.
Oh, wow.
Today or tomorrow.
Thinking ahead.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. We're not wasting time.
So is it not just like an off-the-shelf tune for F-150?
It is, but it has to be to the VIN number. So
wow.
we send them the VIN and the stock tune, and then they modify it.
Okay.
And they send it right back. We just put it on an SD card, put it on the scan tool, and flash it.
Dude, that's wicked, man. So you said it takes about 24 hours or so?
They say up to 24 hours, but I've had it within an hour before.
I know, I'm opening the boxes, guys. So I'm gonna flash you guys in, I guess, whenever all this is on the table and taken off and everything looks pretty. So there is a... Look at that. Look how much air is going to go through this supercharger, guys. That is insane. And we do have a bigger 132 millimeter throttle body, but we are going to install all the upgrades after we get it to 700 to go to 900. So let's get all these boxes open, guys. As you guys see, we did open everything up. So it actually comes pretty cool, man. It's got its own instructions. So you can literally do this at home. Probably not a good idea, but you can. It does have all the stickers too. So we'll slap those on once we are officially Whipple supercharged. And then it has everything from the tuner to the oil coolant, this is the oil reservoir, right? Or no, coolant reservoir, right? Yeah. Coolant reservoir for the Whipple. I mean, it literally comes with everything you need, guys. It's on the boxes. So it's super simple. This is going to be part 2 of the videos when we install this. We are going to be doing the oil pump gears and crank sprockets right now. So let's get that going. All right, guys, this is going to be a time lapse. So let's get this going. And guys, the motor's out. I'm just playing, but without Igor, dude, we would not get this possible. This has been a learning experience. So many different clips, wires, hoses, everything. There's just so much more than... I used to work on 2JZs, and this is nowhere near that. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. Everything is electrical, but we got a lot of parts off. So, oh God, this is kind of awkward. So we did get the thermostat off. We're about to start taking the belt off as well. We did get the fans out, so it does help with the spacing, of course. Drained all the coolant. A lot happening, a lot of stuff I'm learning on, so it is taking a little longer than usual, but we should be able to do it today, he said. So hopefully we'll get that done and get
as much done as possible.
Let's go. Slight issue, or not issue, hopefully, but we have a freaking rat's nest. Why the heck is it? Can you put some of that stuff out? Oh, probably not a good idea with the intakes there, no?
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it now.
Bro, what the heck?
I didn't know you had pads.
Look at that. There's freaking 4,000 miles. Some old man drove it or didn't drive it, so that explains it. Yeah. That's insane.
It's a good spot. It's nice and warm.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it definitely helps, but it's coming off. This is crazy, man. There's a lot of stuff I'm learning and things that shouldn't be there. I would have thought it's just insulation for the intake. That's crazy, bro. Don't tell nobody. With the intake and the fuel rails off, I mean, we're slowly getting all the parts off. Yeah, Igor found this very nice little rat's nest, mouse nest, whatever, but it definitely is not supposed to be there. But it explains why this truck only has, I think, what, like 5,000 miles, because, well, the first owner has 2 owners. The first owner drove like 900 miles in 2 years. So sucker was parked very often and for the whole time. So somebody got very comfortable up in there, but good thing the wires, I don't think, look destroyed or anything, so we should be good, man. Yeah. That was the hardest part, bro. So what's left? We gotta start taking spark plugs, right?
Yeah, we're gonna start with the coils, spark plugs, and then remove the valve covers.
Okay.
And then just start removing all these pulleys.
This is where it gets serious. Yeah. So then, I mean, the oil pump itself is what?
It's down here.
It's below the. Yeah. So we gotta take the crank shaft pulley anyways.
We have to remove everything to get the front cover off.
Okay. So the alternator. The water pump too. That's right. Okay. So we got a little bit of work cut out for us, but the hard part for me, honestly, is just doing the hoses and everything, unclipping it, man. I hate that stuff.
I just can't believe I didn't know you had a pet and never told me about it. What's his name?
Well, I didn't know about the pet, dude. Let's continue, guys. We're doing pretty good on time for a first timer, at least for me, but thankfully Igor is here to really unhook things and show me where to go. Like, he knew there was 4 plugs on the back of the intake, which I never even knew that. Do we even need an intake? Can I sell that? If somebody wants it, keep it.
You're not gonna make anything off of it, but in case you want to reverse the process, keep all your parts. Yeah. That's what I did with the Shelby. I had everything to put it back to stock.
Yeah, that's right, because he's getting the truck. Alrighty, guys, we're making progress. Got in the fight with the crankshaft pulley, but thanks to Igor, we got it out. Definitely taking this motor apart. Hopefully we know what we're doing and we can put it back together, but alternator's off, water pump is off, everything is off. Next is the oil cooler. Well, then we'll do, I guess, the valve cover gaskets, yeah? Yep, and then the valve covers, or timing covers,
the front cover here. It's one piece.
This is getting very serious here, but yeah, we're finding out a lot of stuff about this motor. For the most part, it's the same as the Mustang, right? Or even the Shelby. It's built almost the same.
There's a couple pulleys and hoses different, but the engine is the same.
Yep. So it's all about just making sure the bolts go back in the right spot.
The oil cooler is in a different spot, I think, on the.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Then at the bottom driver's side. We finally got most of the stuff off on the top end, so we got the valve covers off. We are gonna. Do we need to take the spark plugs out? Yeah, we do. Yes.
A little later.
Later, and then the coil packs, of course, are off. So, by the way, whenever you're trying to get the valve cover off on that side, there's like a metal plate because this truck does have dual fuel systems, right?
It's not a dual 16. Fuel. There's just 16 injectors.
Right.
So one's a high pressure for the DI injection.
Yeah, so he made this fancy plate right there that would cover up the intakes, and you can see the injectors over there running. So there's a fuel line that goes behind it and a fuel bracket, I guess, kind of like for the fuel system.
Yeah.
So you got to take it off or else you won't be able to get to the bolts in the back. Perfect. So you got to take that off, guys. Make sure you do it or else you'll break it off. But we got that off now. So next step, I guess, is
I was thinking maybe let's remove some of these bolts up top.
Oh, for the valve or for the cover itself?
So just when we go up, we're done up here.
Sweet.
And then
we're making progress. Yes.
Drop the oil pan and go from there.
And you did say to use 5W50, right? That's what, like Motorcraft, I think is what you're saying to go with?
Motorcraft, yeah. Okay. Some people might recommend something different, but use 5W50 Motorcraft.
Okay.
That's what I use in my Shelby, and it was great.
Awesome. Yeah. So we need that, I guess, thicker viscosity or whatever, especially when we're doing supercharged. So it's getting very serious. I keep saying that.
Guess who forgot to buy oil?
I did not forget to buy oil. I may have forgotten to buy oil, but we're going to get some. We're not going to be done today anyways. Well, we might. Depends how late we're staying up here, but that's news to me, but that's fine. I mean, I am taking up space at the shop. Let's go ahead, guys, and start taking more parts off, of course. Let's get the truck up, get the oil drained, and let's look at the oil pump gears and the crank sprocket, right? Is that what it's called, crankshaft sprocket? So that oil pump gear is supposed to be so brittle that, like, if we drop it off, like, from this height, it's just going to crash and shatter, and it's just very, very weak. And when you're pushing 1,000 horsepower, that's the least thing or last thing you want to go wrong. So let's go ahead and start taking more parts off. All right, guys, so we are slowly working our way. We got all the bolts off of the timing cover over there. We're taking we got the oil filter off as well, and we drained out the oil because we're going to do an oil change anyways, because we have to drop the oil pan, right, to get to the bottom of the timing cover. What I was going to say is actually when we took the oil filter off, guys, look, there's actually like a drain pipe, I guess, for the oil. So it actually works and it drops it down here. It doesn't work all the way completely because it does leak on behind there as well. So it's leaking from all kinds of places. But cool little design. You see that little gutter, I guess. I don't know what to call it. So that's pretty smart. But I was looking under this truck and we're trying to figure out what differential I have in here, because if I have a 373, which most of these 4x4s came with, maybe someone can chime in the comment section, then I will definitely need to go with the lower gear, because a 373 with 1,000 horsepower I won't be able to launch but in second gear, so that's kind of counterproductive. So I'll need to put a 331 or smaller probably in there, but we are slowly working our way, going to be doing the timing cover. And yeah, just keep chugging along, guys. There's a lot of stuff under here that I don't understand, but I am learning. I do see the exhaust, of course, which would be a pain to do. We do have a new exhaust coming and a torque converter, but I think that's the upgrade stage 2 that we'll do. So all of this can be done at the same time. But there's just a lot happening, guys, a lot to learn. But thankfully, Igor's here to help. So let's go ahead and get the timing cover off. That's the most important part. And start messing with the oil pump gear, I guess, and the crane sprocket, right? Let's do it.
Just lock.
All right, guys, so we are a few hours in already. Slowly making progress, but like I said, we're taking this slow, man. We're definitely not trying to screw any of this up. So we did take the cover off, and as you can tell, that is the crank sprocket right there. Of course, that's what the chain sits on, timing chains for both sides. So turns out you do need to take the oil pan off because it does get in the way, right? So we need to, I think, what, 14 bolts, I think you said, and then we'll slowly drop it down, and then we should be able to get to the oil pump and go from there. But it is a slow process, guys, but we don't want to mess this up. If you mess up the timing, I mean, like you said, by one tooth, we're completely screwed. So I definitely want to play it safe, especially if we're doing 1,000 horsepower. We don't need anything leaking either, so we're just going to take our time, guys. So just giving you a little update so as you can see what the front of the motor looks like. Hopefully we never have to see it again. Once we do it right, it should be fine, unless we do head studs, and then of course we'll have to tear off the sides up. But it would be nice to do now, but turns out ARPs are hard to find. So if anyone's got connections on some ARP head studs, please let me know. I'll buy them right now and get it ready for 900 wheel once we're ready.
Send them for free.
That would be even better. We'll shout out your name on my channel, and of course later HP's channel. So let's get this process going, guys. It's been a long day already, but we should be making some big progress and hopefully get this all put back together for this video and have the oil pump gears and crank sprocket in there and move on to the Whipple. That should be fun.
Red Bull.
We need a lot of Red Bull. So it was going all well until we lost about, what, 30 to 45 minutes on let me show you what. Okay, so you got to drop the oil pan on this 4x4 or any of them to really get to the oil pump. And there's where's that flashlight, bro? You got one? Let me show you this magical little bolt that sits right above or right next to the freaking, I don't even know how to describe it, transfer case. I don't know if you can even see it in there. Huh? The differential. It literally sits right above it, and there's no freaking way to get to it. It's like in that hole right there on the side of the oil pan. You can't see it from any angle but from here, from the front of the motor, but you can't get to it from anywhere but from the back. And I mean, the Igor dude, by some miracle, got it pulled out of there, man. And we loosened it up just enough to, you know, we should be fine to be able to do this, but yo, we lost like 30, 45 minutes. We're like, we're just gonna put the truck back together, man. Forget this, it's not worth it. We're not doing this anymore. If it blows, it blows. But if anybody's working on one with the 4x4, just know there's this one magical bolt that's gonna piss you off. So just get ready, man. But alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and the progress continues. So we do have the chains off. The timing chains are off. The tensioners, the guides, everything is there. Timing is set up right according to Igor. But the cool thing is, I like what Igor has set up. So whenever we did these bolts off of the timing cover, he does make you draw this diagram, which is kind of smart, so you can see exactly where the bolts are going into. No, bro, what you laughing at? That's genius, bro. That is also hard coming up on Valentine's Day, but it's actually pretty genius, so you know exactly where the bolts go and which ones have like a special nut for it for different things that screw in. And then we did set out the chains and everything like that, so we know exactly where it goes and how to set it back up and where the bolts are, so we don't screw anything back up. Next thing is what? Take the oil pump out, I guess, and replace the gear. So one thing he said about the gears, of course, the reason that's wrong with them is because, like you said, what? They're just pretty brittle, right? Like they just shatter
they don't like high RPM with vibration and stuff. They just shatter like glass. So
especially on the truck that is not supposed to rev high anyway, so that's a problem.
Well, that's the thing. If you were staying with the stock tune with the Whipple, like with the tune from Whipple, you'd be okay. On the F150. On the Mustang, they rev higher, so you'd want to upgrade this. Okay. But in your case, you're gonna keep going up with the power, so you might as well get this done.
Yes, sir.
And not worry about it.
Yes, sir. And then the second thing we're doing is a crankshaft sprocket, right? Yeah. And it's like a billet one. So what goes wrong with those, man? I mean, I know the chain sits on both of them,
so
but
these teeth, I guess, grind off at high RPMs as well.
Jeez.
And if those teeth are gone, your chain doesn't spin.
And the head game is gone, bro. It's game over. While we were doing all this, before we shut the truck off, we did go ahead and upload, what did you call it? Like a base file from our truck? So pretty much Whipple has it, right?
So we got the original calibration off the PCM.
Yeah.
And then we requested for a Whipple tune, stage 1.
Nice.
In this case. And we already got it back. It's been like, what, 2-3 hours? And we're not even ready.
This is ready. That's literally, let's go flash and just crank it over, man. That's the new hybrid system. But yeah, we're literally ready to get this done get the Whipple on, which will be the second part of this video, or the second video that we'll do, and then we'll plug that in, and what? That's it. I mean, it fires right, because we are doing the special, I mean, we're doing stage 1 Whipple. So it comes with everything, spark plugs, injectors, fuel rails, everything that's supposed to make the off-the-shelf tune work. It is going to be married to my VIN of the truck, so that way, you know, nobody else can, I guess, grab it and use it. It's locked up, so that's awesome. But it does give you, you said what, like 25 free flashes or something? So
I believe so. I believe they put 25 flashes on there just in case you have to flash your truck back to stock for some reason for like troubleshooting.
Okay.
You're able to reflash it back to the Whipple tune when you're done.
Dude, let's continue, man. Let's get that old pump gear going, because I do want to do that drop real quick and see what happens, because it's supposed to literally just shatter. That's how weak and brittle it is, so let's get it off. All right, guys. Yeah, I know, right? So first off, there is the sprocket right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. He literally said I could just pull on it and it come. Are you serious, bro? Yeah. What? That's it. Come on, focus, stupid camera. Wow, so these teeth completely grind off all freaking 200 of them? That's insane, guys. Wow, and we are using, of course, Ford instructions, thanks to Igor, so I don't have to do YouTube videos, and hopefully everything is set up right. But so this is the old sprocket, and then the new one was just here. There it is. So it's in this little fancy thing we received. So this is from its boundary pumps, and of course billet crankshaft timing sprocket. So wasn't much money, but of course, guys, it's absolutely worth it. So that is the new and fancy one. So we'll slap that on, and then what, everything just goes back into the same place after we do the old pump gears, of course. So let's get this going, guys. We're making progress. We did get all the bolts off the old pump here. So what, I'm guessing it just slides right out. Yes, it does. Holy snap, dude. Moment of truth. I'm trying to one-hand this mofo. Gotta do it evenly, because it does sit on the crankshaft. There it goes. And
it's oh
god, no. All everywhere. Oh no, it keeps going. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's full of oil.
So is the gears in here, right?
It's in there, yeah. So right now we're gonna take all those bolts out.
Okay.
Open it up.
That was not me. That's just
there.
Yep. Oh god, the trail continues. All right, so we'll get those gears off real quick, and then I'll show you what the interior of the old pump itself looks like. So for anybody doing this at home, don't do it at home. All right, guys. So let's take this bad boy off. What?
One-handed.
Yeah. Nope, it's gonna spin. Let me get a tripod. All right, let's take these bolts off real quick, or whatever they're called, little stars. Wow, calm down, bro. They're in there tight. And this goes here. What do we got there, guys? There's the old pump gear. So as you can tell, it kind of moves around in here. That's so sick. Wow, so that's how the pump works. Look at that. So this whole thing, what, just kind of pops out when we put the new one in? Oh, wow, it's really stuck on there. So this is the gear, guys, that is extremely brittle, and we're going to test that out in a second. Brand new billet. It's going to work wonders. So here it is in this little package. And I'm not going to install it just yet, but I just want to show it to you guys. And this is, guys, the new pump gears. You can tell, looks a lot better. Wow, that is so sick. You can even say it says boundary on there. So that is what we're going to be installing into the oil pump, and then putting the oil pump back on the crankshaft, and then of course assemble everything back together. And that is the fun part, guys. That is the long part of making sure you don't miss any bolts, you don't screw anything up. It's just a lot of work, man, but it's definitely worth it, guys, because we do want this truck to be extremely reliable, especially if we're doing 1,000 horsepower. So we have talked to a few people, including the guy that owns this place, and he said that these motors can last up to 1,000, maybe even 12 to 1,400 wheel horsepower. They will blow up at some point. Everything does, because if you're taking it into high horsepower range, besides what was made from factory, which is the most reliable horsepower they do and put in the motors, I mean, you're taking a risk. It's just normal. That's just the way it is. But let's see if we could go and drop that old pump gear and see what happens to it. But
find my piece.
All right, so this is the gear itself. We're about to go drop it, yeah? Or do you have yours? Oh, you're gonna drop it here?
Oh, it cracked.
Did it?
I heard it crack, I think.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Yep.
Hairline crack. Dude, what? So one more and it should,
yeah, it should just break.
Drop.
There you
Just
go.
like that,
It broke just like mine.
So the whole piece just comes off, huh? The whole chunk. So now let's test out the other one. Okay, so that's the problem, right? You said from vibration, it literally just comes apart. Yeah. And that is not what you want when you got 900 wheel. So now we know, guys. Now we know exactly what happens.
Put that back in.
I guess on this one you said what? It's a direct fit, so it literally just drops right in and we're good.
We're gonna dip it in some oil.
Okay.
I guess you got to take off for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
once
We'll
you get
do that
back,
after.
we'll dip it in oil. We'll reassemble everything and start putting it back.
And I was told I'm okay to mention this, but we literally just had like a 30-minute phone call with Dustin Whipple, which is the guru, man. I mean, he is the Whipple guy. He created, I guess, Whipple company, everything. So had a decent and very long conversation about everything that we're doing. So we explained our goals, that I have 2 goals in mind: to do 1,000 wheel and to run 8s in the quarter. Called me pretty much a lunatic because to get 8s is going to be extremely hard, and we're talking 1,100 to 1,200 wheel horsepower. Absolutely, and I understand why, because it takes so much to make a truck this size move. But we are going to get there. 900. Actually, he said what, Igor? Up to 950, almost 1,000. We don't even have to open the motor up.
No, up to 1,000, you're good.
That is like completely different of what everyone was saying. Like, oh, you got to do head studs. And like every shop was like, no, God, no, don't go over 900. You got to do head studs. You got to take it apart. And I was like, I mean, okay. I mean, 900 is a strong number. It's a lot for a 5.0 motor. But according to Dustin, he said from his experience, we should be able to do 950 on ethanol without opening anything, period. Just running a 3.0 Whipple and being able to get it done there. So we will probably in the second stage get to 900, maybe 920, 950-ish, cap it there and see what we run. And then to get to the 8s, we're really going to start building. But for now, guys, we are going to take a quick break because we've been at it for almost a whole day. That's mine, bro. Go touch yours. That's my Whipple. That's going on that truck. But let's go ahead and start assembling this in a few minutes, get some lunch, and go from there. But this has been a long day, but we're learning a lot. We're taking our time. Hopefully I have no bolts extra after the fact. If we do, that's my fault.
Just throw them in the intake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just for extra boost. We're going to get some Red Bull, guys, but I will see you in a second. All right, guys, so totally 30 minutes later, and we finally got the chains back in. Everything is done, the crank, sprocket, oil pump gears, and we got the timing set up right. God, I hope you guys do this correctly, because there is no going back if this gets screwed up, man, because you cannot twist that motor counterclockwise. So you need to follow the instructions. Can they get these online, or is this specifically like instruction-wise?
I think you have to have an account.
Oh, like an actual Ford account. But yeah, just let the professionals do it, guys. Luckily, I got a professional, so I'm good there. But the hard part is done. After this point, I'm not that worried, because I know the timing is good. So anything else we really screw up from here will probably leak. We have so much stuff to put back on, bro. We're just getting started, but it is what it is. So I guess what's the next thing?
We're gonna clean up this
the gaskets and all?
The gaskets a little bit. Put some fresh silicone on there.
RTV.
RTV.
Oh, you do have RTV. Okay, good.
We're gonna put it in the same spots they had it. That's where the head meets the block.
Yes.
They just put a little extra everywhere. So.
Yep, and that's actually the spots they have them from Ford, guys. So it's not like we're just randomly putting RTV, so you can see where they used it before. Same on the oil pan. We still gotta do the oil pan, right? Yes. Gotta put that sucker back in, and there's 4 spots that they recommend you put RTV back in there as well. Make sure that your gasket is not, when you were taking off, make sure your gasket stays in line across the whole oil pan. Because
so the gasket gets stuck to the block right here because they put RTV from the factory. So when you're lowering the oil pan, as you can see, we just lowered the oil pan. We didn't remove it completely, and so the gasket could get stuck here. So just keep in mind that it could.
Yep. And then whenever you put it back in, guys, make sure you're not pinching the gasket in the back of the oil pan either. So make sure everything goes on good. So I think that's the next thing we got to do. Once we put that in, we could do the oil cover or the timing cover, and then we'll do the oil pan, right? So that's the reverse order now. But the thing is, you think it's quicker because you know what you're doing and you just put the bolts in, but now you got to follow all these like torque specs and everything, and working every bolt 2-3 times. So it's taking a lot of time, and I don't know why Ford did like random 25 degrees and 40 degrees and then what, inch pounds and foot pounds. So you have to keep switching it on the torque wrench. So a lot that we're learning, guys, but it's a process, and we cannot screw this up. We cannot go too fast on this, because any mistake we make, you're talking about a good day and a half taking it all apart and fixing it. So it's taking us so far we're about, I would say, on and off for about 5 hours, 6 hours, maybe a little bit more. We're going to stop right at the point of doing the timing cover, I would say, and the oil pan. That's technically is done for doing the oil pump gears. The rest is for the Whipple, right? Because that's what we're doing, is putting the valve covers back on. I could not have done it without Igor. This is insane. I have never taken one of these apart. Usually I've worked on 2 JZs, but it's completely different. That's a 15-year-old motor, so I'm learning a lot as I go. Timing chain, not a timing belt, which is a really good thing when you're pushing, what we're going to be doing. So like I said, the tune is ready, guys. So let's just continue working on this. I'm excited. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:57 at night, and we are officially done when it comes to the oil pump gears, crank sprocket. Everything that we took off this motor is back on, including the valve covers. The only thing we don't have on literally is just the intake, because of course that's going to be a Whipple on there. That is going to be the second part of the video, but everything is back on. The AC compressor we took off, the water pump, the oil coolers. I mean, literally everything you could think of. The alternator, everything is back. Torque to spec, and I promise you guys, do not screw that up. Why are you looking like that? Okay, then he had that look like something was not right.
I just remembered where we got this, where this goes.
Oh, you did? Okay, well that's good, because we have some spare bolts, and that one might be on me. I did miss one bolt. We're exhausted, guys. It's been a long, I could do this whole massive outro, but we'll have so much to do still tomorrow. It's all about wiring the Whipple, of course, starting it up. So next video, that sucker is going to be running, and I mean running, like doing burnouts and everything like that. It is stage 1, so they said approximately 600 wheel, but of course we'll go over all the specs later and do a dyno and all that and draggy. But without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching. Igor, you the man, dude. You stayed up all the freaking day working on this. We did take our sweet time doing it, because again, we don't want to be taking this part ever again for any reason whatsoever. Not in the near future, but hopefully I didn't jinx us or myself. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching all these videos. If you like what you've seen, it was very technical today, but drop a like, drop a comment, drop a subscription. This is part of the journey, so I want to show it to you guys, the trials and tribulations, the blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of blood today, and thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your lives, enjoy your cars, enjoy your trucks, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.